Yeah. Freaking Coach Prime gets you riled up. It gets you riled up. Hey, so if you feel like you're, a difference maker in your community, a difference maker in your company, or you want to be that difference maker, let me hear you say, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Slide. Right. Cool. I want you guys to remember that word, difference maker, game changer, okay? Difference maker, game changer. So my name's Naaman Taylor, CEO, Certified Closing. Is my crowd here? What's up, guys? You guys keep clapping that loud. I'll take you everywhere I go. I'm also the CRO of Certified Closing. Of REAC Call Center. Husband, dad, and also I served 13 years in the United States Army. Dude, this is the most applause anybody's gotten all day. I must be killing it. Well, I got started during the pandemic. I was actually living in Germany during the pandemic, so I had a little bit different experience than probably most of you. I was in my barracks room, locked down, trying to figure out what I was going to do. So I was still getting a paycheck from the Army because, I was working for the government, people that started the pandemic. And I was, yeah? Anybody, any conspiracy theorists in there? A couple of you guys, right? I said, F that vaccine, and that's why they kicked me out. Okay? So, that's a story for a different day. But I was sitting in my barracks room trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life because I didn't know what was going to happen during the pandemic. And I started playing Call of Duty, and I was pretty good. I was getting some dubs. I see some Call of Duty guys in the back. Yeah, I was in the gulag, murking dudes, going up the rope, having fun. And I realized I'm kind of wasting my time here. I think I probably got a little more talent than just to play Call of Duty. So I started watching YouTube. Anybody heard of YouTube University? Yeah, I got a master's degree on that bitch. I was watching nothing but YouTube for months and months. And I started watching Dave Ramsey. Anybody heard of him? That's kind of where most people get started, baby steps, all that stuff. So I did all the baby steps in 3 weeks. And I was paying extra on this one mortgage that I had. I was I'm really doing the Dave thing. And I was still broke. And I was it's the millionaire by 60 model, right? And so at the time I was 29. And I thought to myself, this is gonna take forever to get $1 million. And luckily, this is the luck part. So luckily, due to the YouTube algorithm, there was a Bigger Pockets episode, 2 videos down. And so I clicked it. And it was it was an old beardy Brandon, right? Dude's beard was that long at the point, right? He was pimply faced, beardy Brandon. And I was let's see what this dude's talking about. The production value wasn't even that good yet. Podcasts are way better now than they were just 4 years ago. They're so good now. Everybody's got good cameras. So I click it, and I love the first episode, and I get obsessed with things. I click it, and I watch the first episode, and I watch one more over the course of the next 3 months. Remember, during the pandemic, so I had no job, sitting in my barracks room. I watched about 200 Bigger Pockets episodes. Just drinking coffee, watching Bigger Pockets all day. That's how obsessed I got with this. I was dude, this is pretty cool. All these people are making money, and they look just like us. I'm everybody look like this. It's what's so special about these people? What makes them different than me? And I was dude, I'm a soldier. I'm a bad motherfucker. I done went to war twice at this point. I thought I was a pretty cool dude, so I'm I think I could do this. And so from my barracks room in Germany, I decided I was going to start real estate investing. 5,000 miles away in another country. There's one guy in particular that I listened to who I decided he was going to be my mentor. He didn't know it yet. I watched this episode. I sent him a DM on Instagram, and I asked him the question, will you be my coach? It's a dangerous question, ain't it? Not that we've all been through the last few years. It's a dangerous question. I was a hot inbound lead on Instagram. Slide in those DMs. Luckily, this dude had a heart. He only charged me $100 for an hour of his time. Who in here thinks that's a lot of money? That's because y'all all got money now. I was in the Army. I was making 50 grand or something like that, and it wasn't going that far. Too much month at the end of the money. And I was $100. I wasn't in any sort of investing yet. I didn't quite understand like money. I'm thinking like, this is a lot of money to hop on a call with this dude. And so I asked my roommate, or the guy that lived next to me, I was like, hey, you want to split this with me? There's this guy who teaches about real estate investing. He was like, I don't know, but let's try it. He's a really good friend of mine. More he did it for me than the real estate investing thing. But I wanted you to take a point away from that. Don't let little things cheat you out of big opportunity. Because I almost blew it. I didn't realize what kind of bargain I was getting. This dude had bird, I think like 60 houses just in DFW. He had every connection you could possibly think of. And so we split the $100. Remember, I was being cheap. So, and I also didn't want the guy to know that I split it. So I sat right here in front of the screen on the Zoom call, and the guy I split it with stood over here so the guy didn't see him. And we did a call, just like a whole hour. Me, him, and the dude just sitting there just being quiet, like, this is good stuff. It's pretty good. At the end of the call, I'm like, bro, we gotta do a few more of these. He's like, I don't think it's for me, dude. Like, I don't quite understand why we're setting goals and reading these books and doing these things. I was in love with it. He hadn't watched 200 episodes like me. I'm like, this dude has everything. So I went and did about 5 more of those calls. He gave me connections to, at the time, New Western. You guys know New Western? I bought my first 6 deals from them. But he was an appraiser, so I added square feet and I made money on those deals. But he gave me contractors, lenders. I mean, he gave me everything I needed to do a deal. And I had watched those episodes, so I knew what to do with all the connections. I had the information, he gave me the connections. That's how I did my first 6 deals for my Barracks room in Germany, 5,000 miles away. So for you guys that live here, that say, oh, it's across town, it's not the zip code I like, it's an excuse to not do business. Do not limit yourself. Do not let these small things cheat you out of big opportunities. I still have not seen a bunch of the houses I bought from Germany. I went and saw one, and it was very underwhelming. Anybody went and saw their properties that they own? I was like, I'm back home. After the pandemic, I got home, and I was like, I'm gonna go see some of my houses. I went to the first one, and it was in the hood in Fort Worth, 76105, terrible zip code. I'm like, I probably shouldn't be here. I'm gonna go home now. And so I didn't go see any of those other houses, okay? You don't have to go see these houses, dude. You can do it all virtually. That's what's cool. All right, so burned from the Barracks, had a bunch of fun. Pandemic changed. You guys can't even see my scary army face over here, can you? I got face paint on because I was in the field all crazy. But the pandemic changed it. Everybody remember 2021, 2022, inflation, real estate went crazy. I own 20 houses, so I became very wealthy on paper. I was like, I'm fucking smart. Anybody else feel real smart from doing doing real estate the last few years? You're like, this shit's easy. I can do this. Well, that's where I was in my way of thinking, because the people that have been in it for a decade, they raised their hand before the pandemic. They all knew what was going on. The rest of us thought this was normal. So all the deals went crazy. I couldn't find good deals anymore from New Western. And so I was like, I got to find my own deals. So I started trying to get direct to seller, and I started learning what wholesaling was. Okay, and that's how I turned from soldier to sales pro. You guys can scan my Instagram there. I'll tell you a little bit about our company today. We're headquartered in Dallas, Fort Worth. Right now, we got a pipeline of about $1 million, 57 deals on the board. I think just about 40 of those are direct to seller. And one of our goals is actually the wrong year. I don't want to do $1 million this year. 2025, we want to do $1 million in a month. So we got some big goals, some really cool things that we want to try to accomplish through our company. We want to be a difference maker. We want to be a game changer. Right, same stuff that Dion was talking about. So this is what we look like right now. Our team here is really the reason we're able to do all this stuff. This is what our, I'll hop down for a second so you guys can see. This is what our current org chart looks like. And I always like to bring this up and show people, because I don't think people get exposed to what was it Doug? What Doug was talking about, building a real business. I don't think it's exposed enough to groups and events like this. enough. So I always like to include the org chart. One, to recognize my cool people that work for us and build a team and actually do all the work. I get to come up here and be like, I was burned from the Barracks and I liked watching Bigger Pockets. I get to do all that stuff, but the work's done right here. The work's done all right here. Our workforce and our leadership team, we get to sit in the C-suite and talk crap. Okay, so I just want to applaud you guys for doing all the hard work that you guys do. All right, cool. Let's talk sales. So, cool thing about sales is you get to be wrong 90% of the time. You don't even have to be right that many times to make a lot of money in this industry. Our average wholesale deal size right now, so it's on the lower end, it's 18,000. We want to get that up to about 25. But if I'm wrong 90% of the time and I can generate 10 leads, I can make $18,000. Isn't that crazy? That right there, whenever they were telling me I was getting kicked out of the Army, I was like, it's cool. Don't worry about it, guys. I understand. It's just fine. I'm gonna go figure this other shit out. And so I started studying sales because I knew if I just picked up the phone, literally on my shirt says pick up the phone if you want to get paid. If I pick up the phone and go be wrong 90% of the time, I can make $18,000. That's why I love wholesaling. It used to take me like 4 months to make $18,000. Now I can probably make that every day. This is a little hard to see, but I like to bring this up as well to show you the effort that it takes to get these deals done. Can you guys see that in the back? You should come up to the front if you can't see it. I think this is very important. I don't think you understand the value. When a lead comes in, we call it. Very simple, right? If they don't answer, here's where the fun part comes in. We then call it every hour for 7 hours straight until they pick up. Twice. You really want to answer here. If not, you're going to hear from us for 3 days straight, 14 times every day, every hour, until you pick up the phone. So people that are filling out my forms, people that were cold calling, good luck. Because we're going to call you every day until you die or we die. And we ain't going nowhere. Okay? But also have a process that you want to put your leads through. Okay? We like to blow people up really heavy on the front side. All right? And then we follow up every single day. But speed is a core value of ours. You guys keep hearing those things, core values, right? Speed's a core value of ours. We want to talk to these leads as fast as possible. Who in here wholesales? I was hoping for a lot of hands. Okay. Who in here is the main caller for their company? All right. The training I'm going to give you is one call close training. And it's also call as fast as possible. Because if you let them off the phone and you don't call them 14 times, I'm going to smoke your ass. Because I'm going to call them 14 times a day, and they're not getting off the phone with us. Ever. All right, sales process. I'm gonna speed through this. What am I out on time? Can I get a time check? Oh yeah. All right, 7 steps. I'll give you 1 minute for every step. Intro. Make sure you're friendly on the phone. Have a good customer service voice. Set the expectations for the phone call. Find the motivation. It's very important, probably the most important part of the phone call, why they're selling. Get the conditions. It's not that crazy. Understand what can stop the deal from moving forward, what the roadblocks or obstacles. Make the offer, the right offer, and then negotiate. It's that simple. Don't deviate from it. Good greeting, tonality, energy. I always say customer service voice. How I'm talking to you now is not how I'm going to talk to you later when we're taking tequila shots. Right? I'm going to have a little bit better of a customer service voice for you. But also sound like yourself. Don't get on the phone and try to sound like me. Don't get on the phone and try to sound like Jesus. Sound like yourself. Also, seller management. Make them feel good about doing the deal with you. Don't wait until you find out you got a deal to actually care about what's going on, okay? Lay out the phone call. I like to use their name over and over and over when I'm talking to them to build that familiarity and help them understand what's going on. At this point, you need to qualify the lead so you make sure you're not wasting your time, because sometimes these calls can take a long time. Very simple with motivation. Ask great questions, get great answers. Get the whole story and understand their pain. I like to use an acronym called VRT to overcome objections, which is just validate, respond, and transition with a question. The way you get these deals done is by asking questions. Asking questions over and over and over and getting them to share their story and share their pain. This is like the biggest thing I hate about listening to other people's phone calls. It's conditions. Hey, Jamie, Naaman Taylor, how you doing today? Role play with me real quick. Good, man. Looks like you're trying to sell a house on 123 Main Street. Is that right? All right. What's how old is that roof? Fucking drives me crazy, right? You need conditions, but it's the comfort question, okay? It's a comfort question. Well, what can you tell me about the property? Is the first question most people ask. And it's like, lay out the phone call, get some motivation, understand what's going on with them first before you start talking about the property, all right? We talk about the big six, which is like the major components of the property. Again, ask great questions, get great answers. Roadblocks, what's gonna stop the sale from moving forward? I need to think about it. I need to talk to my wife, I need to send this to my lawyer. Early as you can in the conversation, disqualify all those things. Understand their timeline, get the asterisks, we call it like the GAP program. Okay, we'll move you anywhere on the map, the MAP program, we'll move you anywhere on the map. We can help you with some funds to get started here. That's the asterisk on the deal. Get a commitment. If I can get that approved, are you 100% ready to move forward today? And understand what they want for the property. Just get the number. Don't give it to them first. All those things are super important. Make sure and put people on the right offer based on their motivation and timeline. Are they a cash deal? Are they innovation subject to seller finance? Do you need to refer this to a realtor? Give them the right offer. Don't freaking offer them cash when you know they don't have any equity. It's a sub-2 deal, okay? So just make sure you're putting the right offer on there so you can get that conversion done. I hate saying the offer and then shutting up. That's just me. Some of you guys might like to close like that. I hate going, okay, great, I can buy that house for $100,000. And then waiting for them. I like to assume the close. Hey, so did you guys want a mobile notary or did you want to come in person? Great, I got you approved for $100,000 and I wanted to ask you if you wanted to get that in a check or a wire, which one works better for you and your family. I like to move on, that's way better. Give them an option. My favorite thing to say when they say, ain't no way I'm doing $100,000. How far off are we? Wait, oh, that's way too low. When you say it's too low, what do you mean? Ask more questions. Don't even let it faze you. You'll close the deal. They'll tell you exactly, that's when the conversation really starts. They'll tell you exactly what they want at that point. Objection handling, we got something for you guys. This is our top couple objections that we get from how many phone calls do you guys make a day? 100, 120, and there's 5 of them, right? So they make like 600 calls a day. These are the top 5 objections from 600 calls a day, which is what, 3,000 calls a week.
That QR code's hard to read on the last cut.
One more time?
That QR code's hard to scan on the last cut off, so you
Can't scan it? Okay. Do the deals where it matters. All of what I see big time in the wholesale space is people do deals where it doesn't matter. This is a map from InvestorLift. Anybody heard of it? This is where all the deals are being done. Don't do deals here. This is really that simple. Like, just stay out of these places. Do some shit over here. Do some stuff over here. Like, it's really simple. Stop trying to get leads in these terrible places. There's 2 things people have problems with in this industry. It's sales and marketing. So either you suck at sales or you can't get enough leads. Okay. So what I wanted to do is provide you guys with who we get our leads from. We actually signed a deal today. It's actually Daniel's biggest deal he's done yet with us. Was it a one-call close?
It was.
One call close. We assigned it today for $58,000, and the lead was from freaking Lead Zolo. And this is the QR code to get leads from them. We got an offer right now. We get a lead for $100. They're normally like $200. This is not going to be able to scan either. Now, what's 1,000 times 1,000? Somebody that's smart. Somebody's real smart back there. All right, million bucks. That's all it is. Who here has $1,000? Hopefully everybody can raise their hand. Who here has $1,000? Let me see. This is me. I'm going to close soon here. Okay. All right. Who here wants to be a millionaire? A millionaire. All right. 1,000 times 1,000 is 1,000x. You already got $1,000. I think I'll give you the information here today, and some of the other speakers have as well, for you to 1,000x your money, which means you now have the information to make $1 million. But the message I want to share is don't just be a seven-figure earner. Anytime I get a platform, I love to share this. Don't be just a seven-figure earner. Be a seven-figure partner, be a seven-figure father, be a seven-figure husband. Continue to over-deliver to your people and be a seven figures in every part of your life. That's all the time I got. Thanks, guys.